Hello everybody, welcome back to the KotLC Fanbase. My name is Austin, and today I'm going to be ranking the KotLC characters inside of a little tier list that I found. And I've done this before, but now I'm going to re-rank them after I've read KotLC STELLARLUNE, because a lot has happened and a lot of the character dynamics has changed, especially like in Lynn, Marella, even Jensi. A lot of characters have changed in my ranking, so I'm going to do a little bit of a re-ranking here in today's video. But before we get in today's video, make sure to drop a like down below if you guys like these tier ranking videos. I of course love to rank a lot of different things about the KotLC series. Also, comment down below, who do you rank? Who's your favorite character? Who's your worst favorite character? I would love to know and have a discussion in the comments. And also remember to subscribe. We are trying to get to 15,000 subscribers is our next big goal. But yeah, I have a lot of characters to rank, so let's jump straight in. I'm on tiermaker.com, the KotLC characters tier list maker, and the list of tiers we have is literal gods, beneficial, decent, meh, not helpful, and erase. And as you can see, we have a bunch of different characters that we can rank here. I'm pretty sure I counted it up and it's about 23 characters, so there's a lot of characters. So let's just jump straight into the first character, which is going to be Fitz. Now Fitz had a lot of page time in STELLARLUNE, which is kind of, it's not surprising as Sophie's cognate is Fitz, but I think that, it was a little bit awkward in this book because it was kind of about how Sophie and Fitz don't have that much trust anymore. Their cognate levels aren't working, but I'm gonna say he was actually decent in this book. Sometimes there's a lot of anger and jealousy, but I feel like Fitz was like really understanding, especially when Sophie and Keefe got together. I think he was understanding and he actually didn't really challenge that Sophie and Keefe were together. He was just a little bit bummered out. So I think he was decent. There was some bad moments when he like kind of made Sophie storm off when he said Fitz v wasn't everything. So there was a couple bad moments, but overall he was decent. So I'm gonna go with that. Now Lynn, oh man, Lynn was very, very annoying this chapter. She was would never agree with Tam. She would always be on the other side. She would always be just not helpful. It's the perfect example. She was not helpful in this book. She was just trying to make reasons why Glimmer was untrustworthy, and she was just trying to do her own thing. Something in her has changed, so not helpful for her. Now for Marella, I would say she's meh. She was a big part of the book, especially in the last scene where she actually went with Sophie Foster to meet up Lady Gisela. So I think she was a pretty big part of this book, but I'm just gonna say she's meh because she also did support a lot of what Lynn was saying, and I think they were just like a little bit of too much drama in between the group, and Marella was one of the persons who was wanting to stir up a little bit of drama, kind of make the Black Swan have a little bit of cracks inside of it. Now I'm pretty sure this is Della. And did Della even appear in this book that much? I feel like she was I don't think she was in the book actually at all. So I'm gonna just go with, well, I guess I'm just gonna say decent because I like her as a character, but she just wasn't in this book that much. As a character, she is a decent character, I think. Honestly, yeah, because she's not beneficial to the book series, but she's a decent character. I love when she forced herself to go to the Black Swan hideout in book 4, Eluvater, and that was pretty cool. And there was a lot of cool moments, and she's a vanisher. I love her character, so she's decent. Now I'm gonna go on to Tam, and the same thing with Lynn. They were having a lot of trouble together. They were, doing a lot of things, but I'm gonna actually say he was beneficial to the book series, especially in this last book, because of how beneficial he was to finding Keefe. We figured out that Keefe has some amount of shadow flux inside of him, and you can actually track where shadow flux is, and that's how Lady Gisela wanted to find him. So Vespera actually helped out the Black Swan and helped Tam find Keefe, so that was very beneficial to the book series. I think him trusting Glimmer it really helped them out because they were able to meet up with Vespera and Trix, so beneficial. Now we go into Jensi, and I'm gonna say decent for this one. And I was actually really excited to see Jensi as a character because I love his character, and I was wondering where he was, book 3, book 4, book 5, and all those different books where we didn't get to see him that much. And we got to see a pretty good amount of page times with Jensi in it, and especially that one-on-one Sophie and Jensi conversation was pretty cool to see that he didn't have a talent yet, and it kind of shows, a little bit of the other side of the KotLC world where there are some elves who don't have talents. Is this Alvar or Aldin? Oh yeah, no, this is Alvar. Okay, Alvar, I think that he's not helpful in this book series, especially because he's literally dead or alive or something. He's just nowhere to be found. He's been betrayed. He's betrayed a bunch of people. He's done for the series, I think. If he gets somehow found and gets back in the book series, but I really don't see that happening. So he's gonna be not helpful. Wiley, you know what? I'm gonna say meh. He's never been a big character in the series. I think that he has his moments, and we did see him in some of the decisions in the Black Swan, and I think he helped out a lot, but he's not a big contributor to really anything, and he's never really had those one-on-one conversations with Sophie. We don't really get to see him that much. Alden, you know what? Guys, I hate Alden. I hate Alden so much. From the first time I read that short story where Alden was telling Keefe to step away from Sophie and let Fitz have her, that was just, come on, you can't meddle in your kid's love life, so that's gotta be erased. And he's not even been in this book, so he can't really even redeem himself at all. Next we have Mr. Forkle, and I think he's beneficial this book. And especially why I think he's beneficial is because he actually changed a little bit his tactics. He's a little bit more offensive. He knows there's a war going on, and he gives Sophie a lot more of responsibilities and decisions, and I think that's cool. He's kind of giving Sophie more of a leadership role and kind of like sending people off to do this and do that, and he's still obviously with Sophie and telling her, you know, this is a good decision, this is a bad decision. Okay, next we have Sophie, and for this one I'm gonna jump Sophie into the literal god category. This is a very, very big jump because when I used to have it, I used to have Sophie probably around decent or meh because her character was a little bit more annoying. But in STELLARLUNE, I think that's something like unlocked in Sophie. Like she's actually like went out and like just got what she wanted. You know, she went out, she got Keefe. Sophie just wanted to get everything done. She was just a go-getter. She just did what she wanted, you know, and ever since she burned the Never Seen Storage House, I feel like she's just been a really great character. But yeah, next we have Elwyn, and I don't really remember Elwyn in STELLARLUNE, which is actually kind of weird. So, but like he's been a great character in the past, of course. We've seen him so many times because Sophie's been to the healing center so many times, so definitely beneficial to the series, and especially a big part of last book when Keefe had to stay in Elwyn's house. Next we have Orlai, and Orlai in this book was boring, and the only reason I say that is because the most boring part of the book, Orlai was in it. When Sophie, Orlai, and Dex like looked through all those different memories from the cache, I just wanted to skip the whole thing because it was so boring and nothing really happened, and Orlai is not helpful to the series at all. So next we have Ro. You know what? For some reason, I'm gonna put Ro in literal gods. I didn't used to have Ro this high up, but I think that Ro displayed something that's like different in this book, especially like Sophie. Like they changed a lot. I think the Sophie and Ro dynamic was awesome. Ro giving her the dagger, just showing a lot of care for Sophie while Keefe was away. I thought it was really cool, and I would love to see Ro more in this series. I hope she's doing okay because she didn't respond to Sophie's like signal telling her that Keefe was back. So hopefully she's good. Next we have Sandor, and I'm gonna put Sandor in beneficial. I love Sandor. He's my favorite bodyguard probably. I know that Ro ranks over Sandor, but I still love Sandor so much. He's been the OG this whole time, and he's a great bodyguard because he's so loyal and wants to stick by Sophie's side every single time they go out. Every time they're in danger, Sandor's always going to stick by their side. I mean, even just going to meet Lady Della, he's like now down underneath the ground or something, trapped, and he still wants to protect Sophie, so hopefully he's good as well. I mean, both of the bodyguards are in danger right now, so hopefully they're good. Next we have Keefe, and you know what? I want to put Keefe in literal gods, but I'm just going to have to put him and beneficial because the only reason I put this down is because kind of Keefe was really awkward in the start and he missed half the book, so I'm gonna say beneficial. He can't be one of the best characters because he was a little awkward at first. Like Sophie was the only reason that Keefe is official because Sophie went out and did her thing and told Keefe that she liked him. Keefe was not gonna do the same thing because he was a little bit more timid. His empath abilities were kind of not detecting very good, so he just wasn't himself all that much. Especially right when he got back to the KotLC world, he wasn't himself. So next we have Lady Gisela. I'm gonna say decent. I think that Lady Gisela in this book was a little bit mysterious, and like we knew a lot of stuff that was Lady Gisela, especially blowing up that Black Swan hideout. But Lady Gisela was like just powerful and is just crazy and still on this weird Keefe's legacy plan. And I think she was a decent character, but we just didn't get to see her enough in this book. But she was very impactful in the end, especially with the twist of everyone losing their abilities, and now she's a conjurer, so I'm gonna put her as decent. Biana, I'm gonna put her in meh. I mean, she had a lot of good moments in this book, especially. I loved when seeing Biana do a lot of cool things with Dex. Like, she would always, like, want to work with Dex for some reason. I hope that's a sign that Biana and Dex might become official, but I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm going to put her in meh, but she wasn't really beneficial to the series. Next, we have Dex, and I'm going to say he is decent. Again, with the Dex and Biana thing, that was really cool. And I feel like Sophie and Dex going to Orlai's house together, I thought that was, like, he was a decent character. He wanted to help out. He wants to be a bigger part of the KotLC Black Swan, so I think that's gonna have to put him in decent. Next we have Adeline, and she was meh again. Like at the start of the book, she was really in it because they were like looking at maps. They were trying to find Elysian place, location, and Silent Rivers Meet the Mountain. I don't remember the clue, but she was more in like a boring part of the book, so I'm just gonna have to put her meh. And I'm gonna put Grady in that as well for the same reason, because they just weren't that helpful to the book. Next we have Stina, and Stina is so annoying. Oh my goodness. She returned to like her annoying self. Like from the first book to like the 7th or the 6th book, she was on a rise. She was doing good. She had the Team Valiant thing. She was working with Sophie. Really awesome. And now in this next book, she, Marella, Lynn, and Maraka, like they just all get together and start like cracking up the Black Swan and like making divides, and just come on, Stina. I had Stina as like one of the best characters, one of my favorite characters, but now she's one of my least favorites, so I don't know what to do about that one. And then our last character is Maraka, and I mean again, she was with Lynn, Marella, Maraka, Stina, and in this drama group, so I'm just gonna have to put her meh. I mean, she did still like have a big impact in the book, especially in the last scene as she was, you know, protecting them with the force field, but I'm really sad that there's this divide in the Black Swan, and it's because of Lynn and Stina, I feel like. So, but yeah, this is my new updated rankings. Some people fell, some people rose. I mean, especially Sophie, she rose all the way to the top. So let me know down below, like, do you guys agree with this? Because I feel like this is a really good tier list, one of my best. So yeah, definitely let me know how you guys think about my tier list. Leave a like down below if you guys like these tier list videos. Comment down below what would you change about my ranking, and also subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers, and we know about 70% of you guys that are watching are not subscribed. So we know that a lot of you guys could go down below and subscribe to our channel. That would be amazing. But this was awesome from the KotLC Fanbase. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.